Welcome everyone. This is me, Sam Baisla, and I want to talk about today. I'm going to take you through this 1 hour journey where I will be sharing everything that I've learned about building businesses and building systems and hiring people and generating leads. I've done that for 23 years with my businesses and the companies that I've been working with and for. And I hope that out of my experience, you're going to take something really, really valuable and you're going to make your business easy and your life easier. But here's a question, right? If I was in your position, I would be asking, why should I give you my time and attention? After all, I'm going to take 1 hour of your life, and that is something that you have been very limited thing. That's the only thing that you cannot buy, right? Your time and your attention. So the question is, do I really deserve this, right? And I want to answer this before we move into the presentation and we talk and discuss a lot of things. You see, I was born in a village, right? I did everything that a farmer used to do. I had cattle, worked in the field. I, in fact, had my initial education, the school education, from a government school. It was Hindi medium school, right? I had to walk 3 kilometers down to the school, and like a classical story of old movies, of old Hindi movies. And till 12th, I could not even speak proper Hindi. Forget about English or whatever I'm doing. And then I went on to build businesses with Americans, with Europeans, with Indians, of course, and in the Middle East. I built 10 businesses over a period of time. And for the past 23 years, I've been able to hire and train over 100,000 professionals. I'm an investor and entrepreneur. So when I was doing all of this and I built all of this, in fact, I could never go to a regular college also for a degree or something. And when I was building all of this, I realized during the journey that now, in fact, when I look back, I realized that, this could have been easier. I could have saved a lot of time and energy, and I made tons of mistakes. Because I was the first person in my entire family in the relationship who did 10th standards. And when I had a problem, I used to walk up to my dad and ask him for his suggestion and help. And he would be like, I have no idea. Like, go figure it out. And those were the times when there was no internet, when there was no phone, like I'm talking about mobile phone. So you really, really did not have anything that you could learn it from. When I worked with these rich people, I realized that the rich people had a leverage, right, over somebody like us who come from middle class or maybe a lower middle class. They have a head start. They have a network. They have people around them who could really, really fast forward the journey and avoid the mistakes. So when I reached the position here, I look back and I say, I could have done it in a different way. I could have learned in a different way, and I could have avoided my mistakes. And that is the reason for me to do this workshop with all of you, right? I want to give it back to the society because people have helped me, and I want to help back that this learning and experience that I have in my life, probably, you can take something out of this and you can fast forward your journey, and you can make sure that you don't have to sweat and make those mistakes. All right. So that's the whole purpose. There's only one last thing before we start the presentation is I've also seen that there are a lot of people who, even though have the opportunity to learn and grow and build their dream life, are not really committed to it. They are not really hungry to it. So if you are kind of person who wants to take it easy, who wants to take it light, drop right now. This workshop or this training is not for you. Also, if you are somebody who's not building a business already, who does not have a business, this workshop will not be very useful for you. And I want to be really honest with you at the start. I don't want to waste your time and energy, right? So if you're building a business at whatever scale or a size, and you're struggling with it or you want to make it better, this workshop is for you. If you're thinking about a business or you're an employee somewhere or you are a student, then this workshop is not for you. Do not waste your time. All right. So having that said, now let's start. I'm going to share my screen with you and we're going to start it right away. Okay, here we are. And the screen is there. Great. Now, this is called a business growth engine workshop, right? And I call it growth engine because just like in a car, you have this engine and it runs everything. And if you set up this thing right, everything goes easy in your life. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this. Here are some of the rules that I really want you to follow during this workshop. I believe that discipline is the price we pay for the life and the freedom that we want. And I'm sure you have a dream that you want to achieve, and therefore you should be disciplined about it. Only three things I'm asking you to do. This meeting recording will not be provided, so please make sure that you have a notepad and a pen and a paper to make notes. Write as many things, take notes, so that you can help yourself later on. It's very important for you to engage and ask questions. You're here to learn, right? So make the best of it. Since you've decided to give your 1 hour, make sure that you make the best of it. Make notes, ask questions, engage with me. And if we are not able to answer all your questions during this session, we will email you. And last but not the least, and very important thing, we are not selling anything during this training session. Okay, there is no upsell, there is no offer. I just want to help you and earn your trust. I have a business, I make money over there, and definitely, if you want to work with me on those businesses, you're most welcome. But before we even move in that direction, I want to earn your trust. And that is the reason this training workshop is all about. All right, cool. Let's move ahead. So here are the things that we will be discussing today, and you're going to learn about the trap that you are stuck in and the mistakes that you're making, right? And most of these mistakes, and most of the times I've spoken to business owners, they are not even aware that they are stuck at something, right? And that's a very, very critical thing. So you cannot fix a problem, right? You cannot fix a cancer, you cannot cure a disease unless you are very clearly aware of the existence of the disease, okay? The second thing we're going to talk about is what is a business growth engine and why do you even need it, okay? Why can't you be happy that, okay, fine, I'm okay, not growing, that's all right with me. The third thing is I'm going to give you a roadmap to get out of the trap that you are already in and build your dream life. There are two frameworks and templates and trackers that I've been using in my life, and I'm going to share those things and I'm going to talk about. One is about the revenue automation, and I include marketing, lead generation, sales, conversion as in revenue. And I'm going to also give you a framework or a template that you can use to automate your revenue, right? This is 21st century. We have a lot of things. I'm also going to give you some frameworks and templates for building a winning team. You see, a business is which functions on its own without you being required there every day. And for that, you need to build processes, systems, and people so that the business can grow. And the last and not the least, I'm going to give you a framework for next 6 months that you can use, work with me, and transform your business completely. All right? I'm going to call it the Business Transformation and Automation Challenge. Okay. These are the 6 things that I'm going to make sure that I give you very quickly without wasting much of your time. Let's start this. I've already spoken a little bit about that. My favorite introduction about me nowadays is that go Google me. You can type my name, Sam Baisla, in Google, and you'll find more information about me. I don't want to bore you with my story, you know, how I struggled and everything. And no. I don't even think my story as a struggle. I believe that I am whoever I am because of the situation that I come from, because of the challenges that I have, not in spite of the challenges, right? So it's not a sob story. I just want to thank you for being with me. I have worked for 23 years now in my life. I've built and invested multiple businesses, hired and trained over 100,000 professionals. What I do nowadays, I help SMEs and startups to growth in the digital age, right? And using branding, sales, marketing, and fundraise. That's kind of my forte. I have a lot of people who follow me on social media. I've done a lot of work and generated a lot of leads for people, built systems for them. So I think I know what I'm talking about, right? For the past 23 years, half of my career was into an employment. First, I was working for other companies. That was about a decade of experience. And then I moved on to the entrepreneurial journey. So I've seen the both sides of it, right? And I've always bootstrapped my businesses. I've raised funding also. I worked with Americans, Europeans, Indians. So I can give you a global perspective. I can give you an employee's perspective. I can give you a startup perspective. I can give you a fundraising perspective. And the best part about this session today is going to be that this is purely on my personal experience and the thing that I've read. Remember, I told you that I never went to a regular college to get a degree, right? Everything that I've done is on personal learning and experiences and experiments. Okay, great. The trap that you are in, and you may not even know about it. And you should understand that. See, anything begins with the realization of where you are. If you don't know where you are, there is no way that you can get out of this. And the trap or the thing that you're doing right now, how those things, the people around you, the things that you're doing, the circumstances, the kind of business that you have, how everything is holding you back, it's very critical for you to understand that. And that's where the things actually begin from. Okay. So what I think is the trap that you are in is a question that you should be asking yourself, right? Uh, and a very simple question, in fact, is what's growth for you? Okay. What is your dream scenario? Whatever you want to achieve in your life, you ask this question to yourself, right? And it can be different things for different people. And it can be different things for different people at different ages. In your 20s, you may be wanting something else. In your 30s, you may be wanting something else, or 40s, you may be wanting something else. I just turned 40, and I can tell you with experience that this changes completely. But there are some things that are absolutely there, right? They don't change. Everybody wants to have a freedom to do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do, with whoever they want to do, right? We want to have this freedom to do things with our loved ones at our time, whenever I want, right? That's the basic definition of a dream scenario. And I'm sure this is something that you always want. And when you started the business, this is what you wanted, right? That's basically the thing. Like, you can spend time with your family, you can go wherever you want to, and you can have a comfortable life. You can have a nice car, a nice house, a good family, and you can have time to spend with them, right? That's what it is. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you resonate with, or you can tell me your own dream scenario, right? What is growth for you? You can tell me that. Also, by the way, I would like to know, where are you watching and listening to me from? Just let me know in the comments. There will be a question. You can tell me the city and the country that you're watching me from, right? So while you think about your dream scenario, or what is growth for you, and what was the dream that you started the business for, right? There are multiple ways to live your life. You could have chosen to be an employee, 5 days working, salary, no risk, nothing, right? Pensions and everything. Oh, there's no pension in English. But you decided to be an entrepreneur, you decided to be a business person. I'm sure there is a reason behind that decision. And I can tell from my experience that when I decided to be an entrepreneur, it was only the freedom that I was looking for. I was 29 years old working for a company, and almost all of my bosses and senior people were fired. And I saw this person who's 43 years old at that point of time, had a loan on his home, had I think 5 years of a kid. He and his wife were working together very, very hard to pay the EMIs, and he was fired. He had about 15 lakh rupees of package. I'm talking about 2009-10. And when I saw this person fired at the age of 43 with so much of responsibility in EMIs, and when he was going door to door asking for jobs, that scared the shit out of me. I was just married. I had two very, very young kids, and I was trying to build a life, and I thought, my God, I don't want to have this life at the age of 43. When somebody sitting in some boardroom is taking a decision about my future, I don't want to be so vulnerable, and I want to take control of my life. I want to be in control of my future and destiny. And that's why I started the business. I just wanted to do things on my own, on my terms, when I wanted to do. And this is precisely what I'm doing nowadays. So you think about your dream scenario and what you wanted to do. And what happens in entrepreneurship and business, I realize that while we move at it, while we go at it, we kind of let go of our dream, or the core reason, the core purpose that we started the business for. I want you to polish that mirror of yours and look into that mirror once again and ask yourself a question. What is it that you always wanted? Why the hell are you even here? And that's something that I call the employment trap that you're in, right? You started a business to have a freedom, peace of mind, and live your dreams. And now what you end up doing is you're running month to month just to make sure that you are able to pay the salaries of your people, right? It feels like that you are working for your team, your employees, rather than they working for you. You tell them to do things and they come back, I don't know how to do it. And you end up teaching them, you end up training them. And sometimes there are very cunning kind of people also. You've taken one call with them for them in order to teach them. And they come back and say, oh, sir, you were so great. You were awesome. You're amazing. I'm going to put you in the next call also. And before you realize, in weeks or months' time, you are taking the calls on your salesperson's behalf without even thinking that it was his job and that's why the person is paid for. But you think that, okay, if I don't do this, if I don't train them, if I don't help them, they will leave because I'm a small company. They have opportunities with bigger companies. They're throwing more salary. If I don't give them that comfort, if I don't give them that family feeling or support, they will not work with me. I know there is a fear. I've gone through that fear. I still have that fear sometimes. And I really, really have to give myself a whack on the head and say, what the hell am I doing? This is not how it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be having people, pay them, train them, treat them well, of course, but it's their job. They're supposed to do it. And if they do their job, then I can go and do the things that I'm supposed to do. Maybe work on funding, maybe work on branding, maybe spend time with my family, maybe take a vacation. So if you're worried at the moment that the moment you go out for a vacation, the business will stop or it will not go as you being in the system, it's a big trap that you are in. Okay. The another problem that I see with this particular situation, and you should tell me in the comments if this is something that is resonating with you, that if, and this is especially applicable for service-oriented businesses, the initial customers come because of you, right? They know you, they trust you, and you worked hard. And when they come because of you, they want to talk to you only. You're the one who's supposed to deliver the services. Now, this is a scalability problem because if you are there at the center of everything, you cannot make 14 people out of you. Can you do that, right? This is impossible. So the more you grow, the more you put yourself into a situation wherein you are stressed out always. You don't have time for yourself, for your family. And the more business you bring in, the more problems that you have, more people, more management problems, more drama that they bring in. And that's a kind of operation challenge. And that's why most of these service-oriented businesses are not able to grow. And that's a trap. I've been there and I realized that, okay, this is not how it's supposed to go. And you know me, I got to change it. So the situation is that you are in, that you started a business to get a freedom, achieve your dreams, have a peace of mind. And at the moment, all of those freedom, peace of mind, and your dreams are locked in because of the thing that you have, this business, right? You can't sleep properly. And there's one thing that we are ignoring. I know, and tell me if this is true with you and if it resonates with you, that do you feel sometimes that your family is not supporting you? I've heard that many times in the self-employment range of people, or maybe some of the business owners also. You know what, Sam, our families don't understand our struggles and challenges. They demand our time and energy, and we are not able to do that, and they're not supporting us as much as they should. Now, let me tell you something, that they are with you because you promised them a life, or you're supposed to do that for them, right? And you choose to do things that you want to do. I mean, you could easily go and do a job, but you're not doing that. So you're living the life that you think is the right thing, and they supported you in that. But if you're stuck at this and you're not growing the business, or you're not making money or enough money for yourself, or you're not able to take time for yourself or to your family, should they not be worried about you? And when they say that, what are you doing? And this is not working. Why don't you quit and do something else? It's their concern. So you're being selfish and you're being not smart, and then you're putting it on the family also. And you're dragging your family into this. And this is not a very right situation to be in. Look, I'm sorry, but this is heavy, I understand. But I'm not a motivational speaker, and my job at the moment is not to make you feel good about yourself and everything. My job at the moment is like a doctor. I need to diagnose the problem with you that you have in your life and your business, and then one by one, rip that apart and then build the systems, the process, the business that can get you there where you want it to. Right? So if this is hard, maybe take a glass of water, take a easy peasy. But think about this. This is important, right? I want to tell you, life is too short to suffer. And at the moment, if you're suffering in your business, and this is called suffering, right? If you can't sleep properly, if you can't have vacations with your family, if you can't have the car that you want to, if you can't have the house that you want to, if you can't take, if you have to look at the price tag or a price label of things before you buy them for yourself or your family, that is a suffering, my friend. That's exactly what suffering is all about. And whatever years that you've given to, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year, if you've given that time to this, you've been suffering all those years. But trust me, you're smarter than this. You're way smarter than this, and life doesn't have to be like that. This is a mindset that our cultural problem has put us into. You have to work hard. You have to work hard. No, you don't have to work hard. You have to work smart, and you have to work hard at the things that matter the most. If you really want to work hard, then find out those things that deserve your hard work. And by the way, this is 21st century. There are digital tools available, there are automated systems available, and there are so much knowledge available out there. You can go out and pick up the best things and apply that in your life. And even if you think that, oh, well, this is okay, kind of, but what about your legacy then? What is the example that you are teaching to your kids? If they're looking at you struggling every day, not giving time to the family, not going on vacations, not having the money to buy the things that you really, really want to, the example, subconscious example that your kids are getting out of this, oh my God, this is bad. I don't want to do this. While you're trying to inspire them to the business, but they don't want to do it. They will not do it. And that's why a lot of SME business owners have this challenge now that their kids don't want to join their businesses because they've been seeing you struggling, not having money, not having enough time for the family and vacations or enjoyment. That tells them subconsciously this is a bad thing to do. And that's why they want to go and do some crazy fundraising startups, because the story that is being sold over there is that, okay, this is cool, parties, fun, traveling, appreciation, everything. I know that is not right because I've been there. But it is you who's giving this example to your kids and your family, and you don't have to do that. You need to have a better life. You want to have a better life. You're smarter than this, and you need to leave a better legacy for your kids. If that is what you're looking for, and you must look for, what is the solution? The solution must be something that I call a growth engine. The solution must be something at your business which does things on auto mode, right? A system that runs on auto mode and delivers growth. That's what the solution is. There are only two things that has to be about it. It has to be reliable and it has to be efficient. When I say reliable, it should deliver. Once you build an engine, it should keep on growing from there. It's like a car, right? It's heart of the machine. Once the engine is right, you can be depending on it. You take your car, travel 5,000 kilometers, 2,000 kilometers, or 100 kilometers, you know engine is not going to break down. You know the car is going to be there with your family, and you know you're not going to be in danger. That's what the business is all about, right? It is the heart of the engine, is the heart of the business, and you should be having that comfort that when I'm on vacation, when I'm with my kids, and when I hand over to my kids, this will continue working. Once I build it, it will continue working. It has to be efficient. Basically, it should consume the least amount of time, least amount of energy, least amount of money, and produce the maximum amount of profits, scalability, or the outcome that you're looking for, right? And here's a sentence that I want to give you. You need to change your mindset from that you work in a business to a mindset of an investor which says you have to work on the business, right? You have to think that my business is like this, and I'm going to work on the engine on it, and I'm going to fix it once, and I'm going to make sure that it is reliable and efficient, and it grows on auto mode. Trust me, this is possible. I've done it. There are multiple people who've done it. There are 1,000 crore companies and empires, and they run on auto mode. The business owner is never going there. Do you think Ambani's go to office every day and sit with the operations, take customer calls or whatever shit that you and I are doing? No, not at all. Of course not. So it's possible. There are trillion-dollar companies that are being run. And I'm not selling you some jack shit here, right? It is possible. The another thing that you have to understand about the engine is that this is not you. Okay, please understand. The growth engine cannot be you. You cannot multiply yourself. You cannot be everywhere. And if you are doing the work every day, when will you go out with your family, take a vacation, enjoy yourself, take the money, play with your kids, buy the car, or do the things that you wanted to do in your life? So you cannot be in the business. You cannot be the growth engine. It has to be something out of you, right? Tell that to yourself. Make this a note. Make a commitment to yourself that I'm going to change this mindset that I have. I am not the growth engine. I'm going to build a growth engine. Okay? I'm not the business. I'm going to build a business. A business is something which outlasts you. I heard that when I was working with Kotak. I think Uday Kotak used to say that, the MD of the bank. That a business, if you build something, it has to outlast you. You have to think like that. And when you do that, you make sure that the foundations are strong and you do the right thing. And when you build on top of that, you don't have to worry about it failing or something going wrong with it. Okay, let's move on to this. The growth engine is not you. So if this is not you, what is the growth engine then? Here is a roadmap that I want to give you, my friend. I want to give you this roadmap, and the next 2 slides are going to be really, really comprehensive, and you're going to have to make notes and be really, really with me, patience, thinking. If you have questions, just let me know in the chat section. There is a pop-up, there is a question with there, and I'm going to respond. My team is going to respond, and if we miss out any questions, we'll respond to those questions separately. Fantastic. Great. That's good. Yeah, engage. Remember, I said that. Engage. Ask questions. Make notes. Right? Give me thumbs up. Give me something. All right. Perfect. So the roadmap. Basically, there are 2 things that you're looking for, right? And I want to reverse engineer the roadmap. You see, there are so many books available on business. There are so many trainings available. And nowadays, there are so many trainers available. And everybody gives so much advice. You scroll Instagram, you scroll Facebook, you scroll in LinkedIn. There are tens of thousands of people telling you, do this, do that, morning routine, etc., etc. No, I don't want to take you that in that bullshit. And since I've been there, done that, I realized that, okay, the business or life or growth can be very, very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And there is a difference, right? Easy and simple are different things. So let's make it very simple for you. Ask yourself 2 questions. I understand that you want to have enough money and then enough freedom to enjoy it. And trust me, money solves a lot of problems. If somebody believes that, okay, it's not about money, honey, drop the webinar right now. You are not in the right frame of mind at the moment, my friend. And people who say that, okay, money can't buy happiness, they don't know where to shop. Money fixes almost all your money problems, right? It buys you time. It buys you stuff that you can do with. And I've seen things. I've been an extremely poor person. Okay, there was a time when my father was bedridden. I mean, I always see him bedridden. I was the first person in my family who started earning, I was the eldest in the family who had to start earning at the age of 17. And I had to feed the family and everything. I've been there. I don't want to talk about that, but I've made enough money for myself. So I know money is important. So you need to have enough money, which basically means that you generate cash and you build long-term wealth, right? Cash to make sure that day-to-day are taken care of, live a good life, and you pay your employees well. You make sure your business is nice and good. but you also want to build in the long term, build wealth in the long term for yourself and for the other people involved. And then while you're doing it, right, there's no point of being a rich person having truckload of money when you're 75, right? You can't do a shit with that. You want to have money when you are young and when you can enjoy it, right? So you want to have freedom to enjoy it, which basically means that you have enough time and peace of mind to enjoy your life, right? Time and peace of mind, both. Time and peace of mind and enough money, which basically means cash in long-term wealth. So how are you going to get that? All right, these are the two things that we want to have, and let's focus and work on only these two things. Fair enough? So in business terms, when you're deciding that your business is going to be my tool to earn enough money, which is cash and long-term wealth, you need to generate revenue and profits. And your revenue and profits must be consistent, significant, and automated. Consistent means month after month after month after month. You don't want to have a quarter very good and then next 6 months really, really bad. That's not going to help you. You don't want to have just 5% of profits on your entire operations. It's barely enough to pay for everything, or you don't have a life if that is the kind of margin that you're operating. So you want to make significant, and you want to have this automated, because if you have to work to make that revenue and cash flow, then you're not going to have the freedom. Okay, so remember these words. I've chosen that very carefully. You might want to take a screenshot of this, or maybe take a note of this. And when I say freedom to enjoy it, I basically am talking about you need to have people and processes around them so that they can do the work and you don't have to. That's the only way, right? So you want to have great people to do it for you, and you want to have the processes to hire, train, and manage them, right? You find out right people, you hire them well, you train them well, and you manage them well. But you do that through a process. Success doesn't have to be by default. It can be by design. Remember that. So this is the design of the success that I'm talking about with you. Perfect. Sounds fair enough? Great. Perfect. Let's move ahead then. So this is something that is in your mind, you need to take as a journey. Wherever you are, the most important part of a business is this, business strategy and planning. These are the questions like what do you want to sell, who you want to sell to, how you want to sell it, and estimate your resources, skill, and the timelines to execute this whole plan. I'm not talking about this part in this training today. I have another session wholly dedicated for this part, which is business strategy and planning. We will be sharing the link of that webinar here in the comments, so you can join us for that separately whenever you want to. The second thing is marketing and sales. Remember, sales fixes everything. I've been a sales guy all throughout my life, been an entrepreneur, investor, everything. Money fixes everything. So this is why I put it, the most important thing after your strategy and planning is that you find out your right customers, you bring them into your funnel, and you nurture them, and you give them the thing that they're looking for, take money. So in a very simple language, find people that you can sell to and sell it to them consistently and sell it at a price that makes you profit. Simple, very, very simple. Okay, no jazz, no big yarn here. And then you have people, you hire them, you train them, you manage them so that they do it for you, right? The selling, the finding the customers, the nurturing, or fulfillment, or operations, or everything. They do it for you. You don't have to do it on your own, right? These are the two most important parts of your business: marketing and sales and people. And I'm going to talk about these two things. I'm going to give you templates today and frameworks and a map, in fact, how you do these two things and build process systems on auto mode. Okay? And then, of course, when you grow, you can build processes, you can optimize, and you can scale and make your 50 crore company to a 100 crore or maybe 1,000 crore company, or maybe a 10 lakh rupees business to 5 crore, 10 crore, 50 crore rupees business, right? That's a separate issue altogether. So you're today having these two things as a roadmap and as a template. Let's start this one. Okay, this is the most important part of this presentation. This is the most important part, actually. And in fact, I have given you a revenue automation roadmap. I really, really want you to understand. I'm going to explain each one of these points and why something has to be done before then something else. You can't do everything on your own. And if you were to start your automation today, or revenue generation or marketing today, what are the things that you first have to do in order to grow and build something that can last? Okay, so this is revenue automation roadmap. And when you start, and I know you have some kind of activities going on for you, you're doing something, but trust me, whatever you are doing can be improved. And if you're not doing what I'm telling you right now, you better start doing it. The most important and the first part is marketing. When I say marketing, I'm sure you have some sales process in place. Either you're selling to the customers or you have sales team who's selling to the customer. The first and most important thing that you should do is to give them enough quality leads, right? Enough quality leads so that they are not sitting idle. They're not coming back to you and saying, we can't do anything, we don't have enough leads. That's what you need to do. Okay, give them enough leads. For that, you need to set up a marketing and sales management system. Okay, this is the most important part. So when you bring in leads, you have to have a place wherein you can manage them. We use HubSpot for that, and this is a free tool that we use. You can use the same. So wherever the leads that you have Excel sheets, you have your phone numbers, you have contacts, you have LinkedIn or whatever. Just download everything and put that into this one system. Because once you have this pipeline of all the leads with you, it is very easy for you to manage it and find out which is working, which is not working, and your team can work on it, and it will be easy for you to manage your team's performance also. It is surprising to me to see so many business owners and in good ranges of business that they're doing, they don't have a proper CRM. In today's world, if you don't have a proper CRM to manage your leads, oh boy, you are in a big problem, right? So marketing and sales CRM for the lead management is the most important thing and the first thing that you want to do. And HubSpot, I recommend for free. You can use it, or if you have other CRM, you can go for that also. The second thing that you got to be doing in the first month, right after this discussion, is to make sure that your social media is clean and nice and properly prepared. And this is what I call the social media hygiene. Okay, people take decisions based on what they think about you, what they read about you on internet. We spend on an average 5 to 6 hours on the internet every damn day. And the things have changed from, even if you're telling somebody, let's say you call them, you propose them, you send them proposal, they say, well, we'll think about it, we'll come back to you, right? Sales team tells you all of the time that I've spoken to the person and they're going to come back to me. What do you think this person does after the call or after they receive your proposal? They go back on internet, they search about you, they go to your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your YouTube, your website, and they gather information about you. And if that is not consistent and right updated and exactly the way you would want to be known, then you are creating doubts, right? Imagine if, and I know after this workshop also, you're going to go back onto the internet and try and find out more information about me and my companies. And if those information is not consistent and not exactly what I want you to know about me, I'm creating a bad impression. Everybody has a brand. Some of us just have a bad brand. So if your social media is not updated, your bio does not talk about what you do, your company is not updated properly, and if your content is not there, your contact numbers are not there, email number is not updated, you're creating a bad impression. So after you implement a CRM for lead management, for the marketing and sales both, you need to make sure that your social media is updated. And then the third thing that you do is create lead magnets and lead generation. Now, what are lead magnets? Okay, lead magnets are something like I created an ebook, I think a couple of weeks back, and I wrote about my business failures and mistakes that I made, right? I wanted people to learn from my mistakes and my failures so that they can save time and they can save energy. This was about 5,000 words, 20 pages of the ebook. I created this in one night, and I shared it with people free of cost. Now, in order to download that book, they have to give their name, number, email, and they have to share about what do they do and probably a couple of references, and then they can access that free of cost. So it is a value that I'm providing people. I'm not charging money, but in order to have that value, they have to share their information with me. Similarly, in this webinar, in this training, you wanted to have this value, and in order to get this, you gave me your name, number, email, and what do you do? Now, when somebody is giving you their time, they're telling you that they're willing to consider you as a potential business partner, right? If somebody is willing to give you their email, phone, they're telling you that they're willing to consider you, right? It's like dating, right? You meet this girl and you want to go ahead with that, and you ask for a number. If she gives a number, it's a positive sign, right? If she accepts your friend request, it's a positive sign. And that's the kind of thing. So you have to hear to people and listen. Okay, these are the people who are willing to work with me and who are giving me a chance. So lead magnets are those. It's very important, and in today's world, lead magnets are the most important thing that build a pipeline for you, a business for you. Cold calling is almost dead. Cold outreach is almost dead. So you can have somebody's number. I'm asked this question a lot of times that, Sam, can I download my email, LinkedIn, or can I have a database of people? And there are people who sell database of companies. And what you want to do is bombard them with emails, bombard them with phone calls, and do cold callings. That doesn't work anymore. You would not respond to that kind of outreach, do you? So why do you assume that people will respond to that? Why do you assume that the CEOs of other companies will respond to that? There's no reason, right? So you have to make sure that you're giving them some reason to consider you. And when they do consider you, you genuinely give value, you impress them, and you help them with the problem that they have in their life. Everybody's a salesperson and everybody's a customer. We buy stuff and we sell stuff. I do something here in business, and then I also consume some services. The only thing is that whether they want to do business with you or not, okay? So lead magnets are important, but I highly, highly recommend that while you build your lead magnets in the first month, do not be sitting on the lead magnets and social media hygiene and organic activities, because this is going to take time. But I want you to start from the month one after this workshop right now, because this is going to be the foundation of the business that you want to build, which is automated, which is giving you freedom, and which continuously grow. So while you do all of that, make sure that you have some lead generation system in place, which basically should be ads. Even in today's world, running Facebook ads is the most least expensive way to generate business. I've seen that. I do it all the time, even today, even though I have 300,000 followers and about 500,000 database of my own that we've generated in past decade or so. I still run ads, right? Because reaching out to the right person is easier by running ads. I can pinpoint the designation, the kind of companies that I want to do. And when I reach out to them, I put them into my funnel. At the end of the day, the value that it gives me is probably 20x. Why would I not spend money on ads if it can give me numbers? The problem that I see with a lot of business owners, probably in your case also, that you're not afraid of spending money in ads or advertisement. You're just not sure how to calculate the ROI on that, right? When you want to go and hire an agency, the question is you're asking is not how much the agency is costing, but is it worth the money? You want to calculate the ROI, because the agency is not going to give you the ROI. You're not sure whether to give them 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh rupees. Similarly, it goes with the employees also, right? You can pay people 1 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees salaries, maybe 50,000 salaries, if you're sure of that, if they can bring that much value to you, right? So that's what you do in 1 month and first 4 to 6 weeks. Then the second month, basically, you kind of build another layer around it, which is content marketing and lead generating. You see, lead magnets are not going to give anything to you. You have to create content and give people reasons. And I'm going to give you an example. Right now, this workshop that I'm doing is my content. And you give the content to people around their problems in the form that they want to consume. If they want to consume video, you create video. And there are multiple ways of doing that. Don't worry, get into it. But once they come into your funnel, they've given their contact number, email to you, and they've said, fine, I'm willing to talk to you, I'm willing to explore. Don't hit them with your sales offer, right? You nurture them. You give them value after value after value after value. And then during the funnel, at one point, they will come back to you and they will say, hey, I'm facing this problem, and can we do this? Or you can ask them, hey, guys, by the way, I also do this, and I can help you with this. Right? So that's lead nurturing. There is a system that you have to follow with that. You can use WhatsApp automation or email automation. There are a lot of tools like MailChimp, SendGrid, Brevo, and multiple tools like that. I've been using all of them. And then you double down on your lead generation, right? Now you have a system, you have a CRM, and you have your social media, which is nice and cool, and you have these lead magnets. What you need to do is now bring more people into this funnel, okay? So you generate more leads, you run ads, you need to do organic outreach. And this is a system then, if you just keep working at it, it'll keep generating money for you. And I'm working on this before I work on your sales or automation or people or anything. Because if you can simply put your focus to bring in more money into the business through a system, it solves 80% of your problems. Trust me on that. Okay? And the last thing that you should be focusing out of the 6 things in the marketing area is your personal branding and your business branding. And branding is different from marketing, and branding is different from sales. This is about you building an emotional connection with people, that personal connect with people. Sometimes you might be seeing me sharing personal stories or my failures, or I'm on a Monday morning sitting with my legs on my desk and sipping my beer and click a picture and share it on my social media. That is me as a human being engaging with my audience, engaging with my potential customers. That works the best. Trust me, you have to work on that. People no longer want to deal with nameless, faceless, emotionless organizations. They want to do business with people. There is a reason people like Elon Musk are super successful. There's a reason Anand Mahindra, Tata are super successful, because people connect with them. They have respect for them and they live their life. This is why you see these Kylie Jenner or Kim Kardashian or these social media influencers doing really, really good. And that is why this whole gig economy or this content creators are making so much of money with putting less amount of time and less amount of energy, because they've leveraged this whole human thing wherein we want to deal with other people and connect with them. Okay, so if you're a business owner and if you're not doing that, if you're not building personal brand or business branding, you're making a big mistake. And I've been sharing some content on on this topic of personal branding, and you don't have to be a full-time content creator. There are very interesting and very efficient ways for you to create personal brand and personal content, right? So I'll talk about that separately. In fact, I have a very dedicated session on marketing, with the nuances and the details, wherein I talk about the templates, I talk about the emails that I've been using, or the content pillars that I use, so there will be links somewhere. And if you want to join that workshop separately or want to go through that training, that's also, of course, free of cost. So you can enjoy that one. All right. So this is about fixing your lead generation, making sure that you have enough quality leads for your sales team, or if you're the salesperson, for yourself, right? If you can have more meetings, if you can have more leads, if you can have more proposals, if you can have more new clients every month, life would be so much easier. No? And that's what you should be focusing on the first 3 months. That's the minimum that I suggest. If you can do it fast, great. If you can do it longer, great. But at least now you're working on the right thing. Then the second thing that you should be working upon is sales performance management. And this is an ongoing thing, right? No, remember, I'm not talking about hiring right people. I'm not talking about training right people or whatever shit. I'm talking about that whoever is the salesperson for you, with you, maybe you yourself, you first need to make sure that their performance is properly managed. And when I say, are they putting the best amount of effort? Are they speaking to enough people, right people? Are they following up enough? Is their sales pitch correct or not? And for that, if you're not measuring how many proposals being sent, what is the conversion rate, what is the time that it takes for a lead to convert, you're not using your resources the best. So rather than having more resources, or doing something out of the ordinary, let us make the best juice out of the lemons that we have, right? This is my philosophy that I always talk about, that if life gives you lemon, make lemon juice. Now ask me a question. A lot of people ask me that, what if I have lemons who don't have any juice? My lemons are all dried up. What do I do with that, Sam? My answer is make a lemon scrub, right? Scrub bana de. Sell the scrub. The point is that even if you want to rise to a Mount Everest, the first step has to be taken from where you are. And you can't take both of the legs off the earth, right? You have to have a footing wherein you can put your weight on. So think about what you have right now. You have people, you have some clients, some social media, some leads coming in. Make sure that you use that the best. And this framework that I'm talking about is exactly dedicated in that direction. Okay, cool. And then there will be a point wherein you start optimizing the sales process. I'm going to talk about that separately. Then around third or fourth month, you should be using content creation and distribution. You remember, this is now you're reaching out to more people, as many people as possible. And I can give you a simple framework. You do more of what you're doing, if it's working, if it's the right thing, and then you do new things, but you should do more of what you're already doing and working. I see a lot of people not optimizing. I made that mistake. I started LinkedIn training or reach out in 2017, 18, 19 when nobody was doing. I conducted workshops and I did a lot of trainings, and then I stopped it. And now I regret this. There are a lot of people who are doing way better on LinkedIn than me, and I'm struggling on LinkedIn, even though I have 254,000, because I stopped that. And I could have simply exploded that. I could have been the best person in the country or maybe abroad also in using LinkedIn. Though I'm way better than everybody else and a lot of other people, I'm talking about not scaling that and the challenges that you can face. So content creation and distribution, you can use ChatGPT, email, Buffer to schedule your post, WhatsApp for automation, Zapier to connect all of your tools together. So there's a lot of automation that happens. And by the way, this is all free of cost that I'm talking about. This is not paid tools or something, right? And you can do automated webinars, AI calling. There are AI chatbots who do calls. There are AI chatbots who qualify leads for you. And there are webinars that are on automated. For example, this webinar is on automation, right? You can do that. You can build these systems once and they just keep working on their own. But that has to happen later on once you're able to figure out what is it the right thing that you want to do, right? How do you do that step by step? And then you can automate. So it's a very simple. Do it first, the right thing, right processes, then put people onto it who do it, and then automate the thing and replace people out of this. You know, that's the whole thing. So now, since we've talked about the revenue automation roadmap, and I really want you to tell me now if this is something which is making sense or it is something which is useful. I know this is a broad level. We can go down deeper into each section. I do have separate programs or trainings for this, all free, of course. You can click on the link and join one of those programs separately if you want to. Right? Great. Give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Awesome. Let's move ahead. This is the people management roadmap. And you can first fix your revenue and then start working on people. This is what I recommend if the revenue is your problem at the moment. Or if you say, no, I'm okay with the revenue thing, but I want to work on people management also together. So you can do both of them parallelly. But if you do this is how you should be doing it. And what are the activities that are involved in people management roadmap? The first and the most important thing is goal setting and OKR, KRAs and KPIs and input monitoring. And remember, I'm not talking about hiring, training, right? I'm not talking about delegation or building leadership or whatever shit that people talk about. You need to make sure that you do the right things and have highest ROI on the things that you do as a business owner. So goal setting is extremely, extremely important. You pick up people in your team and you set goals for them. And you make sure that those goals are written in front of them and they're reminded about the goals every day. The more you clarify their goals to them, the more motivated and focused they are. We live in a world today wherein there is a tremendous amount of distraction and your teams are completely distracted, right? Your job is to make sure that you bring them back to their goals. And no, you don't have to do this, you know, don't use social media, don't do that. You can't really control people, but you can keep reminding them about their goals, their OKRs and their KPIs. And there is a framework, in fact, that I have built. There is an Excel sheet where you just fill things with the set of instructions that I give to you, and it will be prepared for you. And this OKR is shared in a Google Sheet with you and your team, or your KPIs, they are shared with you and your team. And it has levels like monthly and then weekly goals. And it is then converted into something called DAR, which is Daily Activity Report. And we use Google Sheets for that. And this is absolutely transparent. They punch in their information and we get that information. And there is an automated dashboard built on that, so I don't have to run after anybody. And I'm going to share that with you at the end of this training today. But remember what I'm asking you to monitor. I'm not asking you to monitor the output at the moment. I'm asking you to monitor input at the moment. What does it even mean? Let's take example of sales, for example. The output of a salesperson is how many deals the person is closed. Now, I don't want you to monitor how many deals the person is closing. Okay? Because what happens is you ask a salesperson, what is the sales that you bring in this month? They give you numbers. But somebody as a customer, paying or not paying is beyond the control of you or the salesperson. So you don't want to do that. You want to focus the time and energy on the things which bring you closer to the conversion, which you can control. And that is, by the way, input. So what is the input for a sales program or a sales process? Right? Number of calls. You can dial more people, right? You can speak to more people, right? You can send more proposals. You can have more meetings. So this is what I call the input. And this is absolutely in your control. So you create a tracker for input. And this is where your team has to put daily their activities. Number of calls that I made, number of messages that I sent, number of proposals or the meetings that I had. And this is where you can talk to them at the end of the day that why could you not make more calls? Why could you not have more meetings? Why could you not send more messages? Right? Now, they cannot fight with you on this because there is no excuse of not doing what you can do, right? There is nobody stopping me from sending that extra message. So very smart way, you direct your focus and their focus onto the things that can be done. They are in control and they cannot deny, and therefore you will have less friction with your people. Right? I've built people for almost 23 years in my life. Trust me, this is big. This is very, very important. Once you do this as a practice, you do this daily meeting, twice a week meeting with them about their goals and about their inputs, you will start seeing results. Trust me on that. And if you use the tracker that I'm talking about, it's easy. The second thing in the second month that you should be doing after you build this system for them is the PRP and PIP system something. So PRP is performance review and planning. And PIP is performance improvement plan. Now, I have a written note on this. I have a system on this, and we use a 6 weeks time that if what will be the activities in the first week, second week, third week, and if somebody is below certain percentage on their input, they will be given a written warning and a training, and they would be put into a PIP system, which is performance improvement plan, which basically means that they have to go through training twice a day, read a bunch of stuff to improve themselves. If they don't do that, because this is once again in their control, there is a problem with the person, right? I'm not firing you. I'm not pushing you, but I'm only asking you to read about your job. I'm only asking you to train with me, to do this mock call with me, to do this objection handling with me about 1 hour, right? And I can do this on auto mode. And there can be product knowledge tests that I can create, and I can use ChatGPT for that, and I can give it to them. So what is happening is that you're putting soft pressure on the people who are not performing well, but you're putting the pressure in the right direction, and they cannot complain about it. And if they start working towards the thing in the direction that you're putting pressure, their performance will improve. And if they don't do that, you know they are the wrong people and you need to fire them. Because if somebody is not performing, but also not trying to improve, also not learning, is a bad person to have in the team. And you can't have this person for a long period of time in your team. So I have a 6 weeks process for any new hire. Either I fire them or they perform. Maximum, but any person, maximum, they can stay in my system for 6 weeks if they're not delivering me positive ROI and positive results, right? This is once again a template, a tracker in a Google Sheet. I'm more than happy to share that with you also. The another thing, then you start monitoring them on their output. Okay, so first 6 weeks on their input monitoring, and then you start monitoring on the output also. This thing continues. You do that for a quarter, 1 month, 1, 2, and month 3. And then from 3rd to 4th month onwards, we will be moving into the employee career mapping and coaching and something that I call ADP, which is Accelerated Development Program. Now, ADP, which is Accelerated Development Program, is putting people's mind onto this is where you can go. This is where I'm trying to build managers out of them. I'm trying to create that middle management layer. I'm trying to give them more responsibilities so that they do the management and I can slowly remove myself from the entire business. Okay. And it's good for me because I don't have to hire managers from outside. I can build my own people. And they know me, they know the business. I worked with them, and it's easier to build internal people. It's good for them because they can see that, okay, this is where I'm going to go after 6 months. This is where I'm going to go after 1 year. And when people see the roadmap, they're more committed. They are more committed to you, the company. And most of the companies don't do this. And that's why people, the talented one, right? The ones who are working hard, they know their worth. They know their worth. And if you don't show them the future with you, they go and find out the future with somebody else. But I only want to do this with people who have gone through these 2 processes of mine, like goal setting, input monitoring, KRA, KPIs, which is absolute pure business. Then their output monitoring. Either they perform, or I train, or I remove. These are the 3 things. And the ones who come out of this filter, I'm going to work with them on their career map and coaching and accelerated development program, which is their management, promotions, and everything, right? So this is creating systems which is transparent, already known to people. Everybody's aware, very beginning, and they're working towards it. You are fair and transparent. That's the kind of performance management system you need to build if you want to remove yourself out of the business or you want to scale your business, right? Then there are 2 things, which are train right and hire right. Now, training absolutely is a very different skill altogether. And I want to talk about 2 trainings that you should be doing. It is like skill-based training, and you can take internal help. Maybe you can, there's a model, for example, I use somebody who's more experienced in sales call to teach somebody who's less experienced, and I give this person the performance coach designation, right? The KRA of this person now is 70% his own number and 30% of the performance of the team member. Like, this is one of the ways. I don't have to sit and train everybody. I can just train 1 or 2 people, and then they do the skill-based training for me. Skill-based training is the most important. You do the reviews, which are input monitoring, and skill-based training is being done by somebody senior in your team. And this can be done with every department. If you're dealing with the marketing department, there is somebody who knows marketing better than everybody else. If you're doing with HR, there is somebody else in the marketing, in the HR department who does it. So these people teach other people. You don't do it for yourself, right? You just review. People enjoy teaching other people, right? Trust me, that's the example. So it's not that you're asking them to do something extra. They're going to enjoy it for you, right? And the last is going to be hiring right. Okay, so job descriptions, competency mapping metrics, interview standardization and calibration. These are the things that are going to take a lot of time to discuss. This entire thing, the people management roadmap that I'm talking right now, I have a very separate module on this, about 2 hours of training, which is of course free. There will be links somewhere in the chat. You can click and register yourself for that program and enjoy that one also. Today, it's going to be very difficult for me to dive deep into all of this. Okay. Last thing, very important. Once you fix your internal things, you want to make sure that you are a kind of company that people want to come and work for. Hiring great talent is a very big thing today. I see that young people today, the ones who are talented and the ones who know that they are good, before they join a company, they go onto their social media, search, and find out if the company is worth joining or not. And if they see your company as a boring, not progressive, not good culture company, they will not come to you. So irrespective of you hiring, like paying a lot of money or spending a lot of money with the agencies, you're not attracting the right talent. And even with your kind of personal branding or your personal branding that you have, which is non-existent or maybe bad, even if you're getting some people, trust me, they're not the best people that are there in the market. They are the people who could not get any other job, who could not have a better opportunity, and you're not their preferred choice. During my interviews, I always ask this question: why me? You can have other companies, why me? And if they're not answering it right, then I don't hire them, because I don't want to be somebody's second best choice. What happens when you hire for who you are a second best choice, at the moment they are trained and the moment they get a better opportunity, they leave you, right? So parallelly, while you're building your people management, internal processes, training and everything, you make sure that your personal brand or your company's brand from the employer perspective is good enough, so that people come to you. You don't have to go and hire, they come to you. And they're the best kind of people that you want to hire. People who are looking at a company and say, wow, this is a great company, I want to work with this. This is a person who does not have less choices in his life. They're driven by passion and they want to do something really good. And these are the people that you should be having in your team. And that can only happen if you are building your employer brand parallelly. All right? In the workshop that I'm talking about the people management roadmap, I talk about all of that and I share the templates and the trackers, everything. So just register for that and learn from that. All right. Now the question is, Sam, you've spoken about so many things, and I've taken a lot of time to explain just to these parts, right? Revenue automation roadmap and the people management automation roadmap. The question that you should be asking yourself right now is where to begin, right? What to improve first? I'm only one person. I cannot do everything at once. I cannot do everything all together, all by myself. I want to focus on the things that are the most important thing. I want to focus on the things that fix my problem first, and give me a roadmap or give me leverage so that I can do something else. So what is the step-by-step process, step-by-step method, right? If you're feeling the same question, and if the last two slides were like eye-opening or too much, or, oh my God, this is so much, and so many technical things I need to do. If that was your feeling, let me know in the comments, right? Tell me. Good. It's the right question. It's the right question. There is a saying which goes something like this, that the more we sweat in training, the less we bleed in war. Spending time on identifying right things to do is always good. You don't want to be busy just for being busy. So on one point, you might be thinking, but just tell me what to do. No, I can't tell you what to do. It is your life, for God's sake. It is your business you've chosen. It is your family who's at stake. I can't tell you what to do. You have to find out a way. All I can do is a framework for you to ask right questions, and that's what I'm doing right now here. I'm giving you what questions to ask and how to ask those questions, because the answers are going to be easy. Answers are going to be there. Answers ChatGPT can give you. Answers Google can give you. I can give you answers if you ask me the right questions. The question as a business owner that you should be asking is, and nobody is teaching that, unfortunately. Schools don't teach that. The parents, the society, they don't teach this. What are the right questions? The right questions are, why did I start my business? What is it that I want? I have only 8 hours, 10 hours in my day. What is the one thing that I do that gives me the best possible outcome? No, I'm not a donkey. I don't have to work hard. And this thing about working 15 hours, 17 hours is a bullshit idea. No, you don't have to work that hard. Because remember, if you find out something which is truly important for you, you don't feel like working. Even today, I was awake the entire night and I felt like not working because I was doing something which I truly believe in. So you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, need to break that routine and ask yourself that, okay, I need to be inspired to do it again. I need to be inspired to work hard. And then it becomes like a play. You never feel like work. So find out what are the most important things for you. Once you do that, you will never feel working hard and you will do the right thing and the outcome will be way better. There is a principle, it's called Pareto principle, 80-20 or whatever people call it. It says that 80% of the outcome depends on 20% of the activities. Now, your job as an entrepreneur or as a business owner is to find out what are those 20% of the things. What are those levers? If you just push those levers, 80% of the problems will be solved. At a grand scheme of the things I told you, bring in more money into the business and have good team with you, your almost 80% of the problems will be solved. Now, inside those two things I talked about, how to bring in more money consistently, you need to have a roadmap, which is marketing, sales, and automation. I gave you what you need to do, when you need to do, and then I gave you a roadmap about people. What you need to do first, when you need to do it, and how you optimize it. Now, for your business, this is generic that I talked about. Now, I'm going to give you a generic thing. I'm going to give you something specific. Now, you need to look with this whole lens that I've given you at your business, and you need to see your business and ask those questions to yourself, right? And I can give you this guideline once again. If I were you in your position, the first 6 months, I would focus on my business and I would focus on my revenue first. I've seen it so many times. You try to hire good people, build systems, and then you run out of money. You try to build a good product, have a good idea team, then you run out of money. Or you're pressurized for making money and you're moving back and forth. So at least first for like 3 to 6 months, fix your revenues first. This is how, as a business owner, your environment. In the revenue itself, your focus should be generating leads, marketing, bringing more customers into the pipeline. 50% of your time, and then 20% of your time should be going into sales. Remember, I'm not putting your time into sales because if you bring in the right leads, sales takes care of itself. That's the first 3 to 6 months roadmap. The next 6 to 12 months roadmap, you should be working on people. You should be hiring right people, building the right processes around them, and you should be delegating and moving on to the strategy. In this duration, if you've done the previous one right, your time, 50% of your personal time should be on people. And 20% of your time should be building processes around people and sales and marketing, and make sure that people do the things that they were supposed to do without you being into the picture. And if you've done that 1 year correctly in your business, the next 1 year you should be spending on building strategic partnerships, brands, and expansion. This is absolutely top level management. This is where you are acting like a CEO, a proper CEO, with a strategy, with fundraise, with growing. But this is only applicable to you if your business is in the ranges of 5 to 10 crore annual revenue. Unless you've hit those numbers like 5 to 10 crore of annual revenue, you should be working only on these two processes: revenue and your people. I promise if you follow this method, you will be building a business which is absolutely independent of you, generating 5x at least of revenue, what you're doing today. And you will have enough time for yourself without ever even needing to go to office. Trust me on that. That's what I've done multiple times with my businesses. Brand Samosa started with me creating content on LinkedIn for almost 3 years now. I've not been able even taking sales calls or operations. I don't even know my last 100 customers. First 50, absolutely, I've talked and worked, delivered everything. This is one company. Sales Brigade is another one. Absolutely same thing. I don't know the clients. I don't know anybody around them. And then the companies that I advise. And I'm not selling a training program to you right now. I'm not selling any upsell to you. So I have no reason for you to hype up, right? This is truth. You work on it, and you will be having a life that you always deserved and demanded, right? So I'm going to leave you to take notes for a while. I'm going to revise those slides for you. This is revenue automation. You want to take notes or you want to take a screenshot of it, do it. And if you have questions, let me know in the comments. I'm going to answer all the questions. My team is answering all those questions. And if there is any question left, we will certainly be writing you an email. There is something very important that is still missing. This is all great, Sam, you might be saying. This is fantastic. I know what to do now, broadly. But when I look at my business, how does this all of the thing apply to my business? Right? What is the target audience that I should go for? Which platform I should go for? What is the kind of sales process I should have? What kind of people should I hire? Should I hire experience? Should I hire freshers? Should I use LinkedIn or should I use Facebook or Google Ads? What should I do? You might be asking a question, right? I know. If this is the kind of question that you have or the confusion that you have in your mind, let me know in the comment section if this resonates with you. Because I know you want to come out of this situation. You want to go to a life of your dreams when you can have time for your family, for yourself, and enough money. The business runs it on its own. You know the roadmap, but how it applies to your business, that's a kind of question, right? Let me know in the comments. Super. So take a screenshot or note down. I'm sharing it again with you. And this 6 months roadmap, this is what you should be doing in first 6 months of your business, maybe 3 to 6 rather. Fix your revenues. Marketing and sales must be your top priority. 7 to 12 months, build people, processes around them. Give them tasks, build that middle management layer so that you can actually become a business owner. You build strategy, partnerships, and brand and expansion, and you do the top level management stuff, and you move out of the business. Maybe sell the company, merger and acquisition, go for an IPO, create wealth, move on to the next big thing. This entire thing is, as you've seen, is basically 12 months. Okay, only 12 months, not more than that. If you do the things right, if you do in that step-by-step process. Now, the big question. You should be asking yourself for next 6 months, or rather for next 3 months, what is your most important priority? And I've given you the answer here. The options are either it can be revenue, it can be people, or it can be branding and expansion strategy. And no, it cannot be all. You have to take a choice. Of course, there are problems, and there are so many problems. But remember, as a business owner, you need to ask, what is that 20% of the things? What is that 1 or 2 thing? If I do that right, my 80% of problems will fix. And that's the law. This is Pareto principle, 80-20 principle, or whatever the name that you call it. Ask yourself, it can be either revenue or people or strategy. It can be the A, B, or C. Let me know in the comments. Tell me, what is it? What is it, the problem that you want to fix for the next 3 to 6 months? Because based on that, my next thing is going to come. Then I'm going to talk about deep diving. What exactly can you do? Then, based on that, only I can help you more, or you can help yourself more. Perfect. Awesome. Good. All right, now let's find out and make a plan for you, for your business. Okay, this was generic. Let's make a plan for you. Now, in order to make a plan for your business, I need to know your business, right? A little bit about your business. In fact, I've prepared a 19 questionnaire, 19 questions that I want to understand. And it's a Google sheet. So whenever we onboard a client or we work with somebody, I build a strategy for them, I build a plan for them, and we do a lot of stuff with them. It was impossible for me to give them specific advice or a strategy for their business, which is doable, practical, like down to a point of which platform and what should be written in your bio on the platform, right? What should be your content? What should be your message? Who should be your target audience? What should be the message that you send to the target audience in ads and everything? That process that I created was because I created this system of wherein I asked them this question that all I need to know in order to think and then tell them something, right? So I need to have that information from you so that I can give you a strategy. And for that, I've created this very simple thing. Okay. And these questions can be like, you probably need a marketing strategy deep dive in, right? I can sit with you and I understand your marketing problems and we go deep into your marketing and fix it. Maybe your problems at the moment, remember those questions, right? The priority basically can come down to this. You tell me that, look, I want to fix sales. My sales are not getting converted. My brand is poor. I think I think everything is fine, but my people management have issues, or maybe my leads are of less quality, or less leads. Maybe I want to automate my marketing. I don't know, right? That is for you, but you and I can together sit and reach to that, pinpoint that problem, make it a plan, and then fix it and tackle those problems one by one. Deal? Fine. Now, in order for me to do that, I have created this one-to-one consultation, which is free. And the ones who are watching this video right now, this is available for you. There is a form, there is a link. You can book a consultation call with me and my team. It's a simple calendar link. You can click, give us some information. We'll be booking my calendar. And then we'll jump on a call with you, my team, and we will understand your business. I'm going to ask you those questions about your competition, your product, your business, your target customers, what you've been doing so far, what are your challenges, your percentage conversion rates, very detailed discussion. And after that understanding about your business, we're going to understand the loopholes in your process at the moment. Is it your people? Is it your sales? Is it your marketing? Is it your branding? Is it your leads? Is it what? And then we're going to do your online audit, what we think the world thinks about you, your website, your social media, and everything. And we're going to also audit your competition. Based on that, I create this 10-page custom strategy for your growth, which has step-by-step, week-wise week activities for you, down to a point which platforms to use, how to do like email nurturing or your target audience and everything. And this is absolutely free of cost. I'm not charging for these consultation calls. I'm not charging for this growth strategy written 10-page document that I create for you. I'm able to do that because I have systems and processes. I've been doing it for a very, very long period of time. So you book that call with me. We get on a call, we discuss, and we find out the issue your business faces and you face, and then we take it forward. After that strategy, it's up to you. I want to be transparent here. After that strategy, you can decide I want to do it my own, or I want to do it with my team, or I want to hire some agency, or whatever. Or you may say, well, I don't want to do anything about it. It's my business. I don't want to grow. That's funny, but you can still do that. Or you can hire our company, marketing, lead generation, branding, or sales outsourcing, which we do. And if you do decide to work with us, we can talk about that separately, pricing and everything. But the strategy, the deep diving, the analysis, the diagnosis is absolutely free of cost. The consultation is free of cost. And all these programs that I'm creating is genuinely to help people to at least do the things that they can do on their own. Not everybody can afford our services. I understand that. Not every business is ready to afford our services. And I don't want to work with you if you're not ready, or I cannot add any value to your business, right? If you're at a position wherein you are even like 2 people or 3 people team, and you're trying to figure it out on your own, I might as well just give you some information. You use it and you work with us free, and you grow your business to a level wherein now you want to scale. You're in the ranges of 1 crore, 2 crore revenue. Now you want to go to 10 crores. And now you want to build businesses and systems and processes. And that is where you can't do it on your own. And that is where you need to hire me. But first I have to take you from 10 lakh to 1 crore, right? And I don't want to charge anything for that journey of yours. So this program was for you in that journey, and I hope you found it useful. I only wish that you book a call. There is definitely, I would love to know from you how you like the training, or if there's something that you want me to improve. There are other sessions on separate topics. There are links available. You can click and join those sessions also. So at the end, I want to thank you for your time. It's 1.5 hours that you've given me. I really appreciate, because your time and attention is the only thing that you have which is limited. You cannot buy more time and you cannot buy more attention. And you've chosen to give that to me. Listen to me. I did my best so far to make sure that it is valuable as much as possible, useful for you as much as possible. And I'm sure there are things that I can do better and I can make it more useful. I've been there in the situation that you are. I was born poor. I'm not poor at all. For a very long time, I was banging my heads around walls and here and there, and I was frustrated. And when I look back, I don't want to be egoistic here. There were mistakes that I made. And I wish there were people who could just tell me that, don't do that thing, that's not going to work. A smart person is who doesn't have to, or doesn't want to burn his or her fingers to know that fire is hot, right? You don't want to burn your finger. You don't have to burn your finger to know that fire is hot. You can ask somebody who's already burned their fingers. So be smart and take action. Thinking is your problem. Thinking is your biggest enemy, and nothing moves if you don't. So whether that action is to learn whatever you have, play a replay of this program or this session, go back, make a plan, and start working at your business on any part that you feel right. Or if that action is booking that consultation call with my team and get into a call with us and find out what is something that we can improve with your business, in your business. Or maybe that action is learning something more about different topics. Just take action. Okay? So I wish you all the best, and I'll see you around. Thank you very much. You have a good day. Bye-bye.